Happy Saturday and welcome back to Betting the Diamond on Pub Sports Radio with me and my guy Moose Money Bets. Moose, we're getting in a groove, man. Happy Saturday. How you doing this weekend?
Well, I mean, you're getting on a groove. Let's go there. You're getting your winning ways right. I'm here because of the preparation and not necessarily the result. I am a prepared individual for today. I got my notes, and let's get this card cracking.
Hell yeah, man. Like I told you guys, you gotta bear with me. I told Moose backstage, I don't know what fuck's going on with my throat, man. Woke up and feel like somebody threw a fucking lighter down it and lit my throat on fire with some gas. So it does not feel the best right now, but we're still gonna make money today, and that's what's most important. So shout out to all you guys that are in the chat rocking with us already. If you don't mind, please hit the like button, share the video, get it out there. Let's run this motherfucker up, man. These Saturdays have been dead. It's Pub Sports Radio on a Saturday. I don't know what the hell everybody's doing. Wake up and let's make some motherfucking money. I feel sick, and I'm still up here ready to get paid, right? So here we go, man. Seattle Mariners taking on the Detroit Tigers. The Mariners are 33-31 on the season. The Tigers are 26-38. Interesting to see this game so early for the Mariners, but, so the Tigers do. That's a 12:10 first pitch for my time. That's 1:10 Eastern. That'll be 10:10 on your side, Moose, on the West Coast. Seattle's a -130 favorite. Total sitting at 8.5. We have Bryce Miller going for the Mariners, 1-0 with the 1.17 ERA, 20 strikeouts, 3 walks, a .86 whip. Wow, that's outstanding. Montero on the other side, 2-3 on the season with the 3.69 ERA, 43 strikeouts, 15 walks, and a 1.0 whip. Moose, what you got?
All right, there might be some rain. There's some weather in the area, but according to Kevin Roth, who every time I bring up weather, I am going to say his name. Kevin Roth is the absolute follow on Twitter. He does a tremendous job. He is the number one guy you want to look at when you're trying to figure out what weather influences are going on for games. And there is weather in the area expected to get the entire game in. There is a boost to bats. There's going to, obviously, if there's some rain in the potential area, then there might be some humidity going along with that. Humidity is a boost for bats, so that might be going on here. Detroit 6-21 in May. That's not good. You want to generally be better than that in baseball. But 4-0 to start June, and they have scored 7 runs in at least every one of their games. Now, Seattle is 8-2 in their last 10. You got Bryce Miller, who's been terrific against Detroit. He's got 19 innings pitched, no runs given up, 10 hits, but it's only his 4th start, 5th appearance against Detroit. You got Montero, who's on the other side. He was just like we talked about with Martin Perez. He is a pitcher run value type guy. Seattle against right-handed pitching since 5/18, since May 18th, has been really good with a 5.14 slug. Detroit, since 5/18 against right-hand pitching has been pretty poor. 224 average, 366 slug. But like I said, the last 4 games, they have scored at least 7 runs. You got some high leverage guys that you're not sure if they're going to be available today because of the game yesterday. So make sure you check out on that to see if you have all of their high leverage guys available. I was not able to see that yesterday when I kind of checked through this because this was the first game I did. There's early money on the over. It looks like there's continued money on the over. You've got about 67% or 89% of the tickets, 72% of the cash generally on books is on the over. And if I go to one of the more popular sharp books, yes, you are seeing money on the over, and that total is kind of holding at 8.5. So remember that when I get back to it in just a second. The overall issue with Seattle pitchers is that they have a higher hard hit rate, and Miller has given up 2 home runs in his 5 appearances. So there's kind of this idea that his pitch count, because he hasn't thrown a lot this year, is being slowly brought up. You're likely to see some middle relief guys. But with both Bizzardo and Hoppy having both pitched yesterday, you might see a bullpen advantage with Detroit because they didn't have to use their situational guys. Miller not going deep into games because his pitch count still hasn't gone above 75, 80. So you'd expect those middle relief guys, Bizzardo and Hoppy, to play a role here. So I would say Seattle has the better bullpen, but Detroit has the situational. I'm looking at the first 5 under 4.5. But I'm concerned they set it at 4.5 when it's an 8.5 full game, and that it was juiced to the over. I'm a little hesitant on this. I'm not pulling the trigger yet. Nothing right now is showing me that I should be pulling the trigger. But first 5 under 4.5 is where I'm looking because of how good Bryce Miller is. And the fact that Montero just seems to prevent runs. Didn't pull the trigger, but that's what I'm looking at right now.
Shout out to my guy Macedo in the chat. He said over this game. So he's going over with you. Mark A. I got my dude in there. Good to see you. Lone Star Raider. 2 cents, man. There's my dude. Shout out to just my 2 cents. And all the UFC guys here, man, at Pub Sports MMA, man. Go follow Pub Sports MMA. They moved over to that channel. Those guys are kicking ass, man. Make sure and rock with them live today. Let's go, Moose. Next game. Kansas City Royals taking on the Minnesota Twins here. Got multiple things I got to switch between. Royals 25-39, Twins 30-35. Both these teams are equally falling off the cliff together here. Minnesota minus 158 favorite in this game. Total sitting at 8.5. Avila going for KC here. He is 1-2 on the season with the 4.44 ERA, 25 strikeouts, 16 walks, and a 1.71 WHIP. You got Joe Ryan, the Twins' de facto ace on the mound here. You got a 4-3 record with the 3.2 ERA, 79 strikeouts, 14 walks, and a 0.97 WHIP. Gross baseball game. What do you think, Moose?
All right, so I kind of dug into this one a little bit because I thought it was kind of interesting when you have a guy that has some underlying numbers that you can kind of believe in, which is what we got from Avila here. First off, Minnesota 11-5 against Kansas City at home since 2024. But like I said, I want to talk about Avila here real quick. 86 pitches in his last game. They've been trying to get his pitch count up. We talked about it a little bit with Bryce Miller last game. Again, the same thing has happened with Avila here. And when he first pitched this year, he got shelled. He got hit around, and they sent him down to kind of work on some things. He comes back up, and since coming back up on 429, he's got a 3.10 ERA, a 211 batting average against, and a 324 slug. Other interesting thing I found here was Joe Ryan against AL Central teams. He has been good against AL Central teams until recently. It seems like AL Central teams, like divisional teams, are starting to either kind of figure him out, or because of where the Twins are in the standings, that competitive edge seems to reside in one dugout instead of the other. He's got a 4.40 ERA against AL Central teams this year. In his career against AL Central teams, he's got a 3.73, which is the exact same as his overall career ERA. That's interesting to me because I would expect that within your division, you have fluctuation one way or the other, that it's not more of your career norm, that it has, hey, I know these guys because I see them a lot, or I can't figure these guys out. They have the book on me and they are able to get to me every single game. Not consistency with my career numbers match my divisional numbers, but that's the case for Joe Ryan. In his last 2 starts, he has not done well, but before that, he was 8-2 in 10 of his last 12 starts. So Joe Ryan has pitched well. Typically, Minnesota would have the bullpen advantage, but both bullpens have been used a lot. Minnesota did not use their high leverage guys last night. But I think that the KC pen has been awful, but they are better on the road, and there is talent in that bullpen, whether it's Strom, Eserg. You got guys that can throw and throw well, but it's the struggles that happened early on in the year that have just carried over series to series to series. If you abuse your bullpen early on in the year, it can be very, very difficult to correct. But I do like Avila and Ryan pitching early. I think the first 5 under is a good look, but I only could get a 4, which compared to the last game, 8.5 full game, 4.5 first 5. But this time you're seeing the juice to the under. I'm much more likely to play this 4 for the first 5. I'm not there yet. Going to look at it a little bit more when I get done. But first 5 under 4 is what I'm looking at.
Let's go, Moose. Yo, on God, if we don't fucking run this chat up, I'm not doing Saturdays anymore. Okay. So, like, if y'all want a fucking Saturday baseball show, hit the like button and share the video. Doing a show every day, I love it. I love doing the shows with you guys. But we're doing this shit for 25 people, man. We used to have 200, 300 people on Saturdays in their chat. So, like, share the video, run it up. Let these lazy motherfuckers know that we're awake here trying to make some money on baseball while they're fucking sleeping, because I don't know what the hell's going on right now, but run this bitch up, because like I said, guys, 5 days a week is good for me. If we're going to do a 6 day a week, it better be worth it. There better be people that are out here fucking for the show. So help us out here. Next game, keep this moving. And I got a bet. I say a bet. I got a handful of bets today that I like a lot, Moose. I have 3 that are in the same game, and really, I don't know why I bet other games, but I did. But those 3 are all going to cash. Cincinnati Reds, St. Louis Cardinals here. As I keep this motherfucker moving. God damn, it's annoying that I keep losing where these games are. Switching back, and because I got to do the graph, I got to produce it and go back to the fucking thing. All right. Cincinnati Reds 31-31. Cardinals 33-28. Cardinals are finally starting to win a little bit again. Nick Lodolo on the mound here for the Reds, 2-1 with the 5.2 ERA, 22 strikeouts, 13 walks. Matthew Liberatore on the other side, 3-3 on the season with the 4.35 ERA, 57 strikeouts, 23 walks, and a 1.5 WHIP. This is one of those games, Moose, where I think we're just going to see runs. I lean towards the over. I don't hate the idea of taking St. Louis at maybe like a minus 130. But what's your thoughts on this one?
It's also one of the Reds, like without Ellie De La Cruz. This is the first time he's ever been on the injured list, so it is kind of an unknown how the Reds offense is going to look like consistently over a period of time without their big superstar. So far in the games that Ellie has not been in the lineup, 2, 4, 2, and 3 runs. That's not a ton of offense without their big, igniter, their spark plug. So I'm going to kind of talk about Liberatore first, and then I'm going to go into Lodolo. I'm going to expand a little bit on Lodolo here. Liberatore, it has just been inconsistent. There's been no real rhyme or reason. Everything, though, is based off of his off speed. He has difficulty throwing to his arm side location. His changeup works to his arm side, but it doesn't go to the glove side. So even though he's able to execute to his arm side on his changeup, he's not able to execute to his glove side when he's throwing his changeup, meaning that hitters can basically kind of isolate and zone up their specific pitches. So he's going to have to be able to work his off speed in different parts of the zone, regardless of if they're left-handed or right-handed. I want to go into Lodolo just a little bit, though. So Lodolo, you're looking at his walks, and you're seeing that he has higher velo, and he has a higher spin rate, but he's throwing his curve to right-handed batters less. It used to be fairly close, almost 50-50 in how he was using his curveballs to lefties and righties. But now he's only throwing it 17% of the time to right-handed batters, and his curve is one of his best pitches. So why he's shying away from that is a little unknown to me. The zone charts for Lodolo are all over. There's solid execution up in the zone. So if I want to put on my pitching coach hat here a little bit, he's able to execute his fastball at the top of the zone, but he's not throwing it to the bottom part of the zone. You need to at least show low. You can't live at the top part of the zone because hitters are just going to have their eyes adjust to that part of the zone. You have to expand. If you're using every inch of that strike zone, you can't take inches off in order to execute in one other half. Execute to both high and low. If he's able to execute that fastball at the lower part of the zone, add the sinker if it's possible, but you don't want to lose the sinker's horizontal movement left and right, which is effective now. Don't press the issue, but if he can add a sinker that goes down off of that, he's going to make his curveball more effective. He's going to find out that his fastball execution is much more efficient up in the zone. And I would also put his ass in the bullpen and have him throw a short pen. A short pen is where you have the catcher move up and you throw breaking balls at 54 feet. Because if you can control at 54 feet, move them back to 56. Control at 56, move them back to 58. You control it at 58, move it back to 60, and you're starting to control that pitch a lot more consistently. And if you're able to control your best pitch more often, you're going to find a lot more success. So Nick Lodolo, if you're listening to this at all, you're welcome. I'll take about 2% royalties on whatever you decide to give me for.
Yeah, he's one of the 10 new people that jumped in after I bitched just a second ago. Speaking of new people that jumped in, man, our guy Noel is in there. He dropped the $4.99 dono, blessing our action, Moose. Shout out to Noel, man. It means the world, man, that you're supporting the channel like that. Thank you, Noel. He's also a member, man. He's dropping a dono and he's a member. That's real fucking shit right there. Supporting Pub Sports Radio. If you're not a member, man, think about grabbing a membership. It's the only way that we're going to keep this channel alive is by y'all's support. So thank you, man. Thank you. Everybody share the video and hit the like. Moose, just real quick to say what you're doing. So working on a curveball or a slider is one of the easiest things, in my opinion, in all of baseball. You just shorten up like you're saying. Now, I'm not catching these kids. I got a target, but put the ball at the bottom of the target, man. If you're at 50 feet and you can put the ball at the bottom of the target, at 60 feet, you're going to throw a nasty-ass curveball. It's kind of the same thing that you just said. So anyways, I digress and we move on. We got over 50 people with us now. So we've doubled since I had my little rant, man. Y'all are getting me going. Y'all are getting me awake. Thank you. We're getting this thing moving. My throat's starting to, loosen up a little bit as I get rolling here. Go to the next game. San Francisco Giants versus the Chicago Cubs. Boy, the Cubs sure seem like they're trying to stop the skid, but don't know if they're going to be able to do it. 26-38 are the Giants. 33-31 are the Cubs here. Chicago's a minus 150, minus 160 favorite. The total is sitting at 7.5 on this one. You've got Rupp on the mound for Chicago. I just said Chicago. For San Francisco, 5-6 on the season with the 4.22 ERA, 72 strikeouts, 27 walks, and you got Ben Brown going for the Cubs on the other side, 2-2 on the season with the 1.92 ERA, 53 strikeouts, 15 walks, 0.93 whip, outstanding whip right there. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It was yesterday where the San Francisco Giants put up 18 runs. I mean, they just blistered the Cubs yesterday. Cubs have lost 4 of their last 5, probably worse than that if you go back. Even with how bad everything is, this is who you want on the mound. You want Ben Brown on the mound. Kind of like the Cubs' first 5 on the run line. I know that's a little square, and I don't like trying to catch a falling knife, Moose. But kind of like the Cubs' first 5 run line. What you got here?
There's weather. There is weather. I didn't look too much at this game because when I was checking the Fantasy Pros, where Kevin Roth submits a lot of his work, propfinder.app/weather. If you're looking for what site I am currently looking at with my own 2 eyeballs, it looks like the game's going to get in. Unlike yesterday, it looks like there's going to be wind blowing in around 10 miles an hour. A couple of spotty downpours bring a low chance for a brief late start or delay. So there could be maybe a delay, but it looks like they're going to be able to get the full 9 in. I didn't get a good cap on this because, as I mentioned, I was seeing some weather here, so I kind of stayed off. But let's go ahead and do something I don't really get to do all that much, but I do have access to, which is looking at some of the money and where that is going. So if I go to Circa, it looks like Circa has had about 75% of the cash, 60% of the tickets early on for the Cubs. And within the last 2 hours or so, last hour, Cubs are taking about 87% of the cash and 74% of the tickets. And you are seeing that line move towards Chicago pretty aggressively. It went from about 140, 138 to now it's at 157. The total going from 8 down to 7.5. So it does look like you're seeing Cubs love from the market. But more importantly, it also seems like you're looking at an under here. Roop and Brown, both good pitchers. Giants, surprisingly, all of a sudden kind of an offense. But the underpants kids that we will be calling the Chicago Cubs because they're all about streaks. That's just not a team I can consistently bet on one way or the other because if you are known as an underpants kid and you are known for your streaks, it's going to stick. So whether you like it or not,
it's not. No, it's not. I don't think
you know what? I can have an offer. I can take a swing and a miss when I got some other solid nicknames. So we're going to stick with the underpants kids for now. We're going to let me have a low floor so we can appreciate the high ceilings. Sometimes you got to know the hate to appreciate the love. So that's what we're going to go with. My
guy, shout out to my guy Trevor in the chat, man. He's over with Kyle, and then he's got his own network as well. Trevor, feel free to plug that network right here, man. He goes live right after us, Moose, and we'll see if he uses the Underpants Kids on his show today. Then it's stuck. But if I don't hear that, if I don't hear it after this, I don't want to ever hear it again. Deal?
No, that's not. It's. Did I enjoy saying it? Yes, I enjoyed saying it. So it's happening again. That's how that's gonna work.
All right, man. And shout out. We're growing in numbers, man. Up almost a little over 70 live, man. Shout out to you guys. Keep hitting the like and sharing the video for us. But here we go, man. Baltimore Orioles taking on the Toronto Blue Jays here. I got to always switch back. My bad, Moose. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I don't mind sitting here, just a moment of silence with everybody for a second. And Saturday morning, thinking about the money we're about to make. RIP to the bookies. Here we go. We got Baltimore 31-33 taking on Toronto 30-34 here. Kyle Bradish on the mound going for the Orioles, 3-6 on the season with the 3.44 ERA, 65 strikeouts, 33 walks. Fisher on the mound on the other side for the Blue Jays, 2-1 with the 2.62 ERA, 35 strikeouts, 12 walks. Bullpen day, right? Bullpen day going for the Blue Jays. I don't think you're going to get more than 1 or 2 innings out of Fisher. So it's going to be a mix and match all day. This is right about a pick'em, total sitting at 8.5. I'm not betting this game. I've got 5 bets today. I don't need one on this game. Moose, what you got?
It won't be a bullpen. If Spencer Miles is around 70, 80 pitches, so he is conditioned to go a lot further than just kind of a couple innings here and a true bullpen day. So you are going to see Fisher turn it off to Spencer Miles, who is coming off of his worst outing, but before that he's been very good. Toronto 9-6 versus Baltimore at home since 24. They have not lost back-to-back games at home against the Orioles since June 3rd and 4th of 2024. So the Orioles have kind of had some tough times out in Baltimore. Bradish, 7 innings pitched, 0 runs given up. But that was his last game against the Blue Jays. So he's having his second game in a row against the same opponent. 4.40 ERA in 9 appearances on the road, 6.10 ERA in 4 appearances. So the last time he pitched against like I said, I already mentioned that. Sorry. Notes kind of took me all over. There's been 3 times that Bradish has faced the opponent 2 times in a row in his career. He has pitched well, but he hasn't gone as deep into games. So you do kind of want to see how has the Baltimore bullpen been used. And if you flip on over to RotoWire and you go to that Baltimore pen where you can check and see their usage rate, and you see that they have been used a little bit, not overly worrisome, but you do have guys that have pitched 20, 18, 16 within the last day or two. So there has been some innings logged by these bullpen guys. Both offenses are hitting right-handed pitching. The over is 11-4 since 2024, but it opened at an 8. Everything about this is over, but it's opened at an 8. That's weird. That's a little kind of like, okay, this is a little odd. There was early Baltimore movement with reverse line movement with Toronto money. Big. It was like 74% of the tickets, 80% of the cash that was coming in on Toronto, and you saw movement towards Baltimore. Seems like they might be thinking Bradish pitches well. The bullpen isn't too taxed. But I'm not touching this. I'm off of this. I think that the over would be my best look, but the book is really hanging on to that 8. So I would not touch the over, given how the books are working the line on this.
Shout out to my dude, Wine Time Sports, man. As you guys know, you got Wine Time and Spoons every Saturday night, man. Walk-off wagers just kicking ass right here on Pub Sports Radio. He said Blue Jays -110 is his lean. And then I'm reading the comments through there. Our guy Trevor said the O's aren't absolutely cooking since the Toronto series. They are, man. And just like I talk about with the props that I take, baseball is like this, right? When you get hot, you're hot in baseball. And right now, the Orioles are hot. I mean, that's damn sure. Let's keep this thing moving right now. Chicago White Sox taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Speaking of teams that are hot, I mean, every weekend I bring it back up here, man. Out of the teams that were supposed to be good this year that are falling off, I kept saying the Phillies are going to get right. I still don't think they've got the best lineup as far as making a deep run goes, but this team's going to keep winning games here, and we're seeing it at 34-29 now. So I just think they continue to get right. By next Saturday, there'll be 8 games over 500, 9 games over 500. It's going to keep trending in the right direction. Shout out to Brandon Marsh, man. Brandon Bonds out there. Oh, shit. I'm going to fuck this name out. Speaking of Brandon, we got Brandon Eisert. Did I say that correctly? Moose on the mound for the White Sox.
I want to say Eisert.
Eisert? Okay. EISERT, whatever the fuck that is. 1-0 on the season with 3.55 ERA. 13 strikeouts, 5 walks. A bullpen guy here. So Only been in the league, I think, for 2 or 3 years. So if you don't know the guy, that's why. Andrew Painter on the other side. Painter, I gotta pause and put my pitching coach cap on for a little bit, like you did, Moose. I had this video that I got sent to me of Andrew Painter, who is 6'7", and it was his extension and his back leg and a couple other mechanical things, put as a side by side with Yamamoto, who is 5'10". Tell me how these motherfuckers land in the exact same spot and get the exact same extension. You are 6'7", and you have somebody who is 5'10" that's getting the same extension as you. There's a little bit of a problem there. Stop bailing on your back leg so early. Anyways, I digress. Andrew Painter is 1-6 on the season, a 5.74 ERA, 43 strikeouts, 17 walks, 1.52 WHIP. If the dude would just stay tall just a little bit longer down the mound, bet we could sure fix some of these issues here. But what you got, Moose?
I mean, it's also the thing that if I'm going with Painter, I'm trying to get him on hit mobility, not necessarily trying to create better stride extension, but more or less creating better rotation through that weight bearing heel plant, because you can see that there are times where his hip is offset and the arm will kind of work underneath the ball will sail. But anyways, it's going to be Isert to Burke today.
Staying tall would help fix that as well.
Yeah. I mean, we're saying kind of same thing, just kind of different vernacular and a different emphasis. My emphasis would be more towards the center, towards the hip. Yours would be more towards the feeling of the shoulder, staying up and level, working out and down. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, same principle, just different focuses, which is why you like to use different pitching coaches. Those of you that are out there, dads, kids, whatever might be watching this, have different people, because maybe the approach one guy has is the right way. Maybe the approach that somebody else has is the better way. Anyways, Isert to Burke. Isert is in there specifically to face the left-handed hitters. The theme of this right here, this whole cap, is lefty hitters. Isert is in there to face Harper. He's in there to face Schwarber. Burke, his road ERA against left-handed hitters is a full run higher on the road than it is at home. He has a 3.05 ERA on the road, but I'm sorry, let me start that over. I butchered that. Burke's road ERA is 1 run lower on the road than it is at home. That is a slight trend in his career. There's a weird career trend that he has where against left-handed hitters on the road, he has a problem, but against right-handed hitters at home, that's the issue. So lefties on the road, righties at home. Kind of a weird little split there. Haven't seen too much of that in baseball. 4.09 ERA, 318 batting average against, 523 slug, 3.56 FIP, but a 4.2 xFIP with a hard hit rate of 35.3%, which the MLB average is 37, so a little bit below that. He's been better against left-handed hitters at home this year. You are noticing that the trend seems to be playing out again this year. Against lefties on the road, he's a little bit worse. Thus, they are having Isert start the game so that Burke does not have to face those left-handed hitters more than he needs to, which I really like that approach. I think Venable's got a great idea here because Burke has been effective against right-handed hitters, and overall, he's been a pretty effective pitcher in preventing runs. Painter, we were talking about his mechanics. He doesn't have an out pitch, so all the mechanic stuff we had is resulting him in not having a consistent out pitch. He's going to have a slider. His slider is going to be his out pitch, but right now it is a 282 average against, a 410 slug, and only a 36.6% whiff rate. MLB average is 37, so your number one out pitch better have a whole hell of a lot more than the league average for your whiff rate, and it does not. So he's been throwing the splitter more than he usually would, which is a 233 average against, but a 433 slug with a 37% whiff rate. He's going to need to lock that slider down. Once he can lock that slider down, he's going to be able to have a lot more success, but low chase rate on the slider. He has horizontal movement, and he needs to be able to open up that side door. He uses the bottom of the zone. He uses the diagonal part of the zone. He is not using that horizontal. So when I talked about his hit mobility, one of the reasons that I think that correlates is because he needs to use the side door, which means he comes out around the ball a little bit more so that he can exit off of that plane to the left-hand side, right-hand side of the zone instead of having it just go straight down. If the hitter's eyes are seeing multiple trajectories of the ball and potential multiple exits out of the strike zone, they're going to be a lot more likely to start swinging at pitches out of the zone. Painter needs to do that. He has not done that yet. All this being said, I do like the White Sox today on the money line. You are seeing some tickets coming in on the White Sox, but more of the cash is coming on the Phillies. Line movement hasn't been heavy. I do like the White Sox today. Philly versus right-handed pitching since May 18th has not been great. Chicago White Sox has been decent, nothing special, but the White Sox have a situational pen advantage. The Philadelphia Philly high leverage arms have been used a lot recently with the Padres series and again last night. I like the White Sox here, full game money line. Haven't bet it yet, but I think that's going to end up on my card. So White Sox money line is the play that I have here.
Well, you got our guy 2 cents in your corner right there, because 2 cents said his POD is the White Sox right there, plus 116. Shout out to 2 cents, man. And Big Show. I saw my guy Big Show up there. He says, "Sup, fuckers." Make sure, like I said just a little bit ago, Pub Sports MMA. It's the movement, man. Hit subscribe. We got just over 80 people. So I guess my little crybaby rant earlier worked, Moose, because we're growing, we're moving, we're up there. Let's get up over 100, man. But we need y'all's help.
Hey, I need some hookers and cocaine. This is bullshit. Why don't I have some more hookers and cocaine? You guys got to go out there and get me. I just share. Just if you have some, let me have some. If you get some, call me up.
I like hookers and cocaine.
Yeah, well, let me rant about it so I can get some.
All right. Well, here we go, man. Let's keep it. Let's keep it moving here. I was going to say this though with the Phillies, man. Look, if Painter's if his out pitch is a slider and hitters are hitting 288 off of it, what the fuck is wrong with him, bro? You can't let people hit 288 off your slider. That's broken, bro. That's not okay. I'm telling you right now, my hurt arm, ass, and only being able to throw my slider at 82 miles an hour, which I know that's how hard I still throw it, Moose, because I clocked it literally this week on the Rapsodo. I'm still not going to have people hit 288 off my slider, bro. What are you doing, bro?
Well,
throw the pitch.
It's so weird. Like, I looked at his zone chart, and it's just like, wait, there's nothing like horizontally out of the zone. Like, everything that he has on a slider is essentially to a specific. I mean, you expect down and away to a righty as a right-handed pitcher. That's going to be the automatic slider location. But it's just like, dude, that can't be the only spot. Like, when I'm going well, like when I'm going at my best, I am manipulating the slider to either go more to the horizontal plane or more vertical plane, depending on what kind of stuff that I'm seeing from the hitter. If I'm seeing a guy that is really getting out to his front foot, yeah, I'm going to probably want to go off the plate. If I see a guy diving out, bit here, I'm going to want to go down.
What you're saying is what you're saying is what I try and teach my pitchers all the time. You don't have one slider. You don't have one curveball.
Yeah.
You have everything in between your slider and curveball. Every fucking angle and everything in between the slider and the curveball you should be able to throw. But I'm going to digress right here, and we can have this conversation another time. Because you and me will get going.
I was literally ready to go like, hey, if you want to
But you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like exactly what you're saying. You got to be able to have multiple dimensions to your breaking pitches. And it's as simple as where my release point is and where my wrist finishes on the pitch. But anyways, Pittsburgh taking on Atlanta here. Go back. Pirates 34-30 on the season. You got the Braves sitting at 43-21. Pittsburgh is a -115 favorite with Braxton Ashcraft on the mound. 5-2 on the season, a 2.77 ERA, 81 strikeouts, 17 walks. Had a good start against Minnesota last game. 6 innings, gave up 2 earned runs on a bit of a streak here. You go back to May 15th, he gave up the 4 runs against the Phillies, but since then, 7 innings, 1 run, 6 1/3 inning, 1 run, 6 innings, 2 runs. He's had, 3 good starts in a row. Spencer Strider on the other side. We all know our guy, Spencer Strider, 3-1 on the season with the 3.77 ERA, 40 strikeouts. Strider's given up 3 runs in each of his last 3 starts. He's one of those guys that, as much fun as he was to watch blow up onto the league, what was it, 2022? I don't have it in front of me. A few years back, the injury and different setbacks have got us kind of sitting here waiting, watching, and wondering what Strider's going to be. And I hate to be that guy, Moose, but I don't think he's as elite as we thought he was off the rip. I think Strider is a great pitcher, but I think he's about a mid to upper 3, maybe a 4 ERA guy, which is great in the majors. That's outstanding, but I don't think he's going to be one of those under 3 ERA guys. I don't think he's going to be one of those as elite pitchers as we thought. All that being said, man, you got a -115 with Strider on the mound. Braves going against the Pirates. I know this is a completely different Pirates team than it was last year, and that we've been used to. But fuck, I want to take the Braves. What are we talking about? I want to take the Braves here. Haven't done it. I did take Matt Olson, though. That came in at +120. I got Matt Olson over 1.5 total bases. What you got, Moose?
All right. Atlanta 17-8 at home. Pittsburgh only 16-14 on the road. But hey, that's a hell of an improvement. I mean, Pittsburgh was not long ago that it didn't matter if they were playing home or road. They were probably going to have a losing record. Strider against the Pirates, 1-2, 5.65 ERA versus Pittsburgh in 3 appearances. But one bad, one good, one meh. The one bad one happened on the road. Interesting stat. Strider, 6 of his 7, please don't do it, have come at home. He's actually slightly better numbers on the road in his career, but kind of odd that all but one of his starts has been at home this year. So the Atlanta is clearly trying to manipulate the starts so that Strider is pitching at home rather than the road. If they're not, then that's a hell of a coincidence that's happened all but one time in 7 starts. The metrics for Strider, as you already talked about, very similar to last year. I thought the same thing, Cab. I was like, this is not the same Strider. It was not long ago that he was one of the dominant guys. And then you started seeing a lot of people that bet sports starting to do a Strider fade because it was like, hey, he's not going to be the same guy anymore. Injuries, and he's different. And it was all pretty true, but he's now starting to become more of a pitcher. Maybe it's tough for me to tell. Maybe he's just nibbling. Maybe he's not as aggressive in the zone because he doesn't have that dominant stuff that he used to have. But he's being effective. Like, he's getting outs. He's pitching more to soft contact. He's not throwing as much stuff in the middle of the plate. He is working towards the edges. He is getting his chase rate. So he's working outside of the zone. I do like Strider as a potential veteran-type pitcher if we're going to reclassify him as a different guy. And in that case, I do feel like, yeah, I can sign up for veteran Strider. I can get on board with that. Ashcraft is really having kind of a breakout.
It's wild how we just pitched that in our minds, bro. We both did the same thing. I got to watch this one and see, though. We both did the exact same manipulation of turning him into quote unquote veteran Strider in our mind. Does he deserve that shit, though? Does he really, though? Like,
the fact that 2 pitching guys had the exact same thought, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of also like, maybe we are seeing something. Like, maybe the pitching version of that ocular recognition is picking up on something like, hey, maybe this is happening. So you saying it also gave me quite a bit of confidence. So I see what you're saying, though. Like, all right, like the fact that both of us are maybe hoping this because we want Atlanta, but Ashcraft has had kind of a breakout here. It really has been built off of his curveball, which has really emerged. His curveball has a +5% whiff rate this year. It is a +6% usage for his put-away pitch, meaning in 2-strike counts, he's using it 6% more of the time. And overall, he's using it 3% more. But that is telling you that in strikeout situations, he's going to his curveball a lot more. And it has been very good. I did the Chat GPT guess answer, though, where you're guessing if it's the right answer. And I asked Chat GPT, hey, yo, Chat GPT, does Atlanta hit the breaking ball? And Chat GPT said, yes, they do. They hit the breaking ball. I did a quick little work on, I looked at Acuna, looked at Olsen. Yes, they do hit breaking balls. So your Olsen play looks like it's got some really solid legs to it. So I do like Atlanta. Atlanta has a big bullpen advantage. The Pittsburgh bullpen has struggled on the road recently since May 18th. 276 average against, 567 FIP, 4.40 xFIP, but still, that's not good. 533 slug, and that's on the road against 125 batters faced. So that is a solid enough sample size given that bullpen guys don't see as many hitters. So over 120 does register on my radar of enough of a sample size. So I do like Atlanta. To your point, is it surprising that the money line is this low? Yeah, it seems like low-hanging fruit type trap for Atlanta bettors, but I also think it's respecting Ashcraft. It's respecting the
he's
Pirates.
Good as fuck, bro.
Yeah, it is. So it's baked into that, and it's also kind of like, what is Strider? So I think it is a legit play that you can make a solid, reasonable bet on Atlanta today, knowing that they're 17-8 at home. Strider has been pitching consistently at home, and that the Braves bats might find some success against Ashcraft. And if not, that Pirate bullpen has been super sus. So give me Atlanta money line. I took it last night at -110. I believe it's up to -115. So that is my first play here. Atlanta money line -110.
There we go. Shout out to my guy MMA Mills, man. Said I'm always wearing this hat. Yeah, bro. There's a few baseball habits that are hard. It's like, right. What's funny is I've actually got like probably like 12 hats that you can't see that aren't behind me. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's habit, man. My whole life I've always had a hat. I switch between that hat every couple months, but I always got a hat, man. I don't know. It is what it is. Shout out to the 80 people that are rocking with us. Help us get up over 100. I think our high is 105, Moose. Let's see if we can get 106 today. If we can get 106 today, guys, I will do a $25 giveaway right here on the show at the end of the show. So let's get up over 105. And before we hit end, I will shoot one of you guys $25 on Cash App. Not a bad deal, right? Bribing you guys to turn up the numbers. So let's go, man. And we're going to make money today. That's what's most important. Very most important. I'm feeling better, man. I woke up this morning and I felt like shit, dude. I'm not going to lie. This is the worst I felt when I woke up in a long time. Alcohol is not my friend, bro. The older I get, I can't drink. But here we go. Mm-hmm. Next game. Tampa Bay taking on the Miami Marlins. Here we go. Where did the fuck did this game go? 37-23 Tampa Bay Rays, man. It's funny. We were talking about home field advantages, and somebody was looking at how the Rays are playing at home. How do you have a home field? How do you have such a home field advantage when you only have 15 people that show up to your games?
Right.
Anyways, you're on the road here, so it doesn't matter. But you're on another state. You're going to the other stadium across
only 15 people at this game.
Yeah, across the state where you got
home field advantage.
All 15, they go from the Rays game over to the Marlins game, right? So basically going to feel like home field advantage here for the Rays. 29-35 for the Marlins here. Looks like we got Shane McClanahan going for the Tampa Bay Rays, 6-2, 2.45 ERA, 53 strikeouts, 19 walks. It's interesting to see him here right after Strider because mentally, for some reason, maybe it's just because they both throw the shit out of the baseball, but my mind puts those two guys right in the same class, right about the same time as when they came up. I feel like they were both right about 2022, 2021 when they started coming into the league and kind of making noise. But McClanahan is somebody, also coming from the left side. There's the big difference. But McClanahan's somebody who I see, other than that 100-mile-an-hour fastball that he showed us all, I see the depth in the slider like we were talking about, Moose. I see his other pitches. I see McClanahan developing into an elite pitcher here. At 6-2 on the season with a 2.45 ERA. And really, he's had two starts, one against Pittsburgh, one against Baltimore, where he gave up 4 runs. Outside of that, he has not given up more than 2 runs in a single start all season. I like this guy, man. I think this is a good spot for him. And to be honest, I think I like the Rays on the first 5 run line here. It's just not something I bet. Lake Barcher, did I say that correctly? On the other side, 0-0 with the 3.45 ERA. Bullpen guy. You might get 2, you might get 3 out of him, but that's all you're hoping for. I like Tampa Bay here. What you got, Moose?
Well, it's unknown what you're going to get behind Bob Belcher for Miami today. But I swear, we did not talk about this beforehand. And I thought the same thing. I was like, all right, well, this game's definitely priced appropriately because they're on the assumption that, Shane O'Mac is sort of back from his Tommy John and that he's been able to establish himself enough. It looks like he's got his release point down because anytime anybody comes back from Tommy John, there is inconsistency with their release point, and there is a large window of opportunity for you to manipulate, fuck around with your release point, and all of a sudden everything's off, and now you're doing more harm than good in terms of your rehab from Tommy John. But it looks like Shane O'Mac has, shocking in a Rays organization, has been able to progress and is back to essentially where he was before he left off. Not quite, not the same type of swing and miss stuff, but very, very similar. So
you say shocking, bro? The Rays have been pretty good at developing pitchers over the last few years.
It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
Oh, you were being sarcastic. Okay, you were being sarcastic. My bad. Go ahead.
I'm a bit like the Rays have been incredible. It's like the Vanderbilt of the professional leagues for developing pitchers. They just do it at a level that nobody else does. Like every time you hear some kind of philosophical thing, it's always Tampa. Like throwing the ball, having the catcher set up down the middle. Tampa started it. Having your catchers not show the zone or flash once and then start down to up. Tampa. Like, those are places to start. Anyways, so Shane Mack, I felt like the line was priced appropriately against Miami. 2-0, 12 strikeouts in his 11 appearances, or in his 11 innings pitched. He has not faced them since May 24th of 2022. The Marlins against left-handed pitching since May 4th. They have a 26.5% K rate and an 8.4% walk rate. That is telling me that they are rather aggressive and that they are willing to strike out, and they're not as likely to take their walks against left-handed pitchers. At home, Miami, 26.8% K rate with an 8.4% walk rate. So you're not seeing much of a difference at home versus the road. There are essentially 4 guys that I look at in this lineup of who could potentially create more contact than swing and miss against Shane O'Mac. Otto Lopez, Javier Sanoa, Xavier Edwards, and Liam Hicks are the 4 bats that have a low strikeout rate. 15.6, 10.8, 11.5, 9.1. Hicks is a lefty, so the likelihood that he's in the lineup is low because he doesn't hit lefties. He has terrible numbers against lefties, so the likelihood he's in the lineup is low. So you're talking about Xavier Edwards, Sanoa, and Lopez. Sanoa also doesn't hit lefties. He only has like a 188 average against lefties. So if he's in the lineup, he's a quick out, so you can move on to the next guy. I really like the strikeout prop here. They set it at 5.5, which Shane O'Mac has not hit a bunch this year. I love when a prop market will set the prop higher than what their average is in a situation where I feel like it is a good situational spot for them. Cab, you already said it's a good situational spot. I also agree it's a good situational spot. Give me Shane O'Mac strikeouts over 5.5. I got that last night at plus 120. I like that here. I also think that maybe a Shane O'Mac runs under or total outs over might be on the board. I think you get a really good outing from Shane Mack. Also DFS, any kind of plays with that.
You're getting a lot of value on that 5.5, bro, because that shit's usually not going to be plus money, but he just hasn't hit that 6 very many times this year. So I think you're getting a lot of value on that. I like that bet. Couple things. One, did they truly start the catchers moving up? Like, you're sure about that?
I'm pretty sure that it was the Rays, that they were the ones that started down to up, that they were the ones that started that whole down to up the theory.
I just want to know, because that's a wild thing to like, and for anybody who plays baseball and doesn't know what we're talking about, catchers used to catch back to the zone, right? Wherever it was, they were just catching their glove back to the zone. Now what catchers are doing is they're showing you a target, and then they drop it down to the bottom, and then as the ball comes, they catch back to the middle of the zone. And it's a big change. It's a big change in baseball. And if they really are just the first ones who are like, let's do this, that's interesting. Mills, I appreciate how much you love your Braves, man. You see the Braves hat on. He says Braves are a way better farm system of pitchers. They do not develop pitchers better, though. I don't know if there's anybody in baseball that develops pitchers better than Tampa Bay. They might have better pitchers in their farm system, but as far as development goes, I don't think there's anybody better than Tampa, personally. But that's just me. Moose, anything else before we move on?
I mean, I would also agree that Atlanta does get a ton of pitching. I mean, just look at all the guys they have. I mean, every year, Bryce Elder coming through.
We're talking about two complete. Atlanta's got a little bit of this to back it up. Atlanta's got a little bit of momentum. Atlanta's got a lot of things that Tampa Bay does not have. So that's what's so impressive about what Tampa Bay has been able to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and the only other thing is when you're working down, the theory is that if you are working down out of the zone into the zone, the umpire's eye is seeing more movement in the zone versus potential movement that's in the zone going out of the zone. So you want all of your movement to be going towards the strike.
Instead of going against where the baseball's going, we're going to make it try and look like it is going. That makes perfect sense. It looks good. I love it. And when I'm back there like catching, I like working down to up too. It makes sense. So good change for baseball there. Here we go, man. Athletics taking on the Houston Astros here. I do have action in this game. This will be my second bet, and I'm about to unload in the next couple games on you guys because I do have a lot of action here today. So hit the like button, share the video, get it out there. Cade Morris getting his first start in Major League Baseball here. Let me double check that. He is a 6'3" right-handed pitcher. Look, he's coming out of California, third-round draft pick in 2023. So you got a new guy going for the A's here. Tough, road start against the Astros, a little division rival on the road for your first start. You've got Ema, Totusha Ima. Hopefully I said that correctly. Going for Houston, 2-3 on the season, a 5.52 ERA, 28 strikeouts, 20 walks, and a 1.36 WHIP. Houston is a slight favorite. I'm showing like minus 118 here. So it's very close to a pick 'em. Both teams are going to have to lay juice if you want to take them on the money line. Total sitting at 9.5 here on this one. As much as I'd love to go to Yordan Alvarez and attack a right-handed pitcher who is getting their first start of the year, I like to think people who get their first start, they're not as picky against somebody like Alvarez. They got to learn the hard way. They got to get blistered a couple times, and then they realize, oh shit, yeah, you really don't want to pitch to this guy. But I can't do it, Moose. I'm not laying minus 130 for 1.5 total bases. Fuck, I'd go under if I was going to bet that, and there's no way I'm taking under on Alvarez. So what did I do here? I took Christian Walker, and I know I'm usually a righty on lefty or a lefty on righty type guy, and this will be a righty on righty. But Christian Walker is sitting at 248 on the season. I just think this is a good spot for him here. When a lot of attention and a lot of energy is going to be exerted on Yordan Alvarez, there are a lot of times when he's right there, to pick up that slack. Alvarez gets walked. Alvarez gets intentionally put on. And Christian Walker has that extra base hit potential in him. So we're going to go Walker over 1.5 total bases. That comes in at plus 120 as well. So we got 2 plus 120 bets out so far. Moose, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I don't do anything with major league debuts. You have no idea, zero idea, like what's going to be going through that kid's mind. It's the biggest day of his entire life. You might even be able to throw the birth of his kid and the wedding of himself to. I had better ideas of how that sentence started, but it trailed.
Hold on, let me just. I hope nobody can hear me when I say this, but ain't no fucking way you're putting the wedding up there with your first fucking day of your major league debut and the birth of your child. There ain't no way the wedding is getting up there in that fucking.
I was gonna say if you were getting married to like Sydney Sweeney and some and whoever that chick in the SI swimsuit thing, that's Penny Lane or something. Like if you got married to both of them at the same time. Like I was trying to think of something, but my brain just like thought of like the chicks and just like went somewhere else because it's too early to be thinking that stuff. But yeah, you don't know where Cade Morris's head's going to be at. I've seen pitchers that have gone out there and have absolutely shoved. I've also seen guys go out there and not be able to get out of the first inning. I've seen guys go out there and puke on the fucking mound before they even threw their first pitch.
Weeks ago. I did that once, bro. I was not nervous though. I was just sick. And I had a fucking Pirate scout and I had 2 other scouts. This was like one of my last games that I pitched. And they were all in the stands fucking radaring me. And I had to turn around and puke, bro. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. I turned around, I fucking puked, and then I hit 94 on the next pitch. So it was all right.
Yeah. So I don't know what to expect from Cade Morris. And Imai, his walks have been a major issue. When I looked at this, I was like, how is a kid making his debut a plus 100? How is it the Astros are only minus 110? And Altuve's back in the lineup. He returned on Friday or Thursday after a 3-week absence. So, like, how the hell is this priced this way? It kind of makes me want to take the A's. But no, I'm not touching this. I'm not touching this at all. If you have an angle, if you feel like if you personally know Cade Morris and you are texting him like right now and he is like FaceTiming you and be like, yo, I'm good. No sweat at all. Then all right, go for it. Bet the A's because I think the line says A's, but no. Next.
There we go. So I am on Christian Walker. Shout out to our guy, man, Jimmy the Bag. He said, "What up, Cab and Moose?" Here's our guy in the chat, man. Jimmy doing a show 2 times a day, Monday through Friday. Jimmy, I was just sitting up here getting a little bit of rant, man. Doing one show 6 days a week is a lot, man. I can't imagine doing 2 shows, man. Keep it up. You're kicking ass, man. Leading the way here at Pub Sports Radio. Everybody like the video and share it. Get it out there. We got to hit that hundo, man. We're only a few people away, but we need y'all's help, man. The reposting is what really gets us there. So let's move on to the next game here. Washington Nationals taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks here. This is one of the only last games that I don't have action in. Nationals 32-32. The Diamondbacks sitting at 33-30. Diamondbacks are getting hot, man. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I just know that the Diamondbacks are getting hot. Arizona sitting at minus 155. Total sitting at 9.5. This is going to be a blistering hot day here. Looks like it's going to be 102 degrees outside. Zach Littell on the mound going for Washington, 5-4 on the season with a 5.01 ERA, 35 strikeouts, 19 walks, and a 1.37 whip. Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound on the other side going for the Diamondbacks. He's 5-1 on the season with a 2.24 ERA, 52 strikeouts, 26 walks. I'll tell you what, man, Eduardo Rodriguez is one of those guys that I know last year, I think he had like a 5, last 2 years, about a 5 ERA, but he's got the stuff, man. He's got the movement. I've seen him go out there and dominate. And I think this is just a good situation where I like Arizona in this game. I don't lay run lines full game, so it would have to be a first 5. But I don't have a bet here. Moose, what you got?
Yeah, I agree. Ed Rod has been pitching well in terms of preventing runs. His metrics are awful. The metrics show regression, but he's also a veteran. So you look at those metrics with a veteran with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, they get outs. And the number one value, the number one metric you want to look at is how many runs are they preventing. It doesn't matter if they load the bases. If they get that ground ball double play 9 times out of 10, they're going to be successful more often than they're not. 2.24 ERA, but a 4.55 expected ERA. All this being said, your better offenses are going to find success against the veteran that has underlying poor metrics. Your better offenses will be able to, crack through. Is Washington that good of an offense against right-handed pitching? Absolutely. Against left-handed pitching, maybe. 253 average since May 17th against left-handed pitching. 253 average, 411 slug, 747 OPS. They have been better on the road, but only 119 plate appearances. So is this good enough? IDK. I don't know. So I can't really make an assumption that Ed Rod is going to have a good game or a bad game based off of the theory that good offenses break through on veteran pitchers. Average to below average do not. So I'm not sure where to put that quite yet. For Littell, since May, 2.35 ERA. The metrics are awful, but the slider has done well. It's used 28% of the time. It has a 196 batting average against with a 339 slug, and it has been used as a put-away pitch 22.9%, which is 6% higher than any other pitch. But underlying metrics, the expected batting average is 264. The expected slug is 463 on that slider. Will today be the day that all of a sudden he starts hanging that pitch? Not sure. The roof is going to be closed, so you might get a little bit more success than normal. You might normally not, given that the roof is going to be closed and the air is not going to carry as well. The line suggests that Ed Rod does well. Where they are pricing this game, giving the Diamondbacks minus 163, is suggesting that Ed Rod pitches well. And the Arizona versus right-handed pitching since May 18th, 249 average, 386 slug, 698 OPS at home against right-handed pitching. So not overly impressive. The over has gone 5-1-1 in games between the Nationals, Arizona, but they put it at 9 again. I played the over. I played the under yesterday. I am so tempted to play the under again because it's just like you have all these things saying that this is an over, but you set the number low, and when those two things happen, that generally correlates to the under. I haven't bet it yet. I want to look at the line movement a little bit more because the betting market, the wager talk, is not giving me percentages on the bets, but the fact that it is still a 9 does give me a little bit of reason to bet it, but I'm not there yet. I will post if I do, but the under full game is what I'm looking at right now. Have not bet it.
Man, I was going to say I kind of like that. Yeah. I'm just going to leave that one alone as well, man. Shout out to Professor Chris and Coin, our guys. He said Arizona money line minus 150. He ain't scared of a little juice. He's going to lay it. Shout out to our dude Coin out there, man. Wine Time Sports, Jimmy the Bag, man. All you guys. We're up getting close to that mark, man. We're getting close to that hundo mark. Keep sharing the video. Get it out there. We're going to make it today. Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees. Let me shift the graphics for us. All right. Looks like Aaron Judge did hurt his hand on that diving play, man. I don't know if you saw it. Just trying to avoid his teammate there. 27-35 are the Red Sox here. 37-26 are the Yankees. Yankees are about a minus 125 favorite. It looks like it's moved if the graphic's right, -136, but I'm showing a -125 here. Total sitting at 8.5. You got Ranger Suarez going for the Red Sox, 2-3 with the 3.38 ERA, 57 strikeouts, 19 walks, and Will Warren on the other side going for the Yankees, 7-1 on the season, 3.22 ERA, 70 strikeouts, 19 walks. Warren's coming off that great start against the A's, 6 innings, only gave up no earned runs. He gave up 3 runs though, so there were some runs scored, even though they didn't go against his ERA. As a matter of fact, he's been getting touched up a little bit in his last 4 or 5 starts. If you look out at it, I think that I'd probably go under here, Moose. I don't like taking unders in crackerjack ass stadiums though. I'm betting under in New York sounds like fucking. I'd rather just go outside and play in the fucking rain. What's your thoughts on this one, Moose?
I went pretty deep on this game, so bear with me here. I a lot of information, and it's gonna end up in no play. But here we go. Boston 9-6 against the Yankees since 2024, but 7-3 in their last 10, 6-1 in their last 7. There might be rain. There could be rain. So check the weather. It was clear yesterday, but when I checked this morning, it did look like there was a much higher percentage chance of rain. So double check that. Boston 7-4 in games that Ranger Suarez has started. Yankees 9-3 in games that Warren has started. Ranger is coming off of back-to-back duds. He's been better on the road this year, almost a full run lower, and that is consistent with his career. But asterisk, he did play in Philadelphia the majority of his career, so you'd expect that his career numbers are going to be better on the road than they would be at home. Weird thing about Ranger this year, he's either given up 0, 1, 4, or 5 runs this year. That's it. Those are the only totals he's given up. He's given up 0 runs 5 times.
Did you just count to 5? The fuck?
Yeah, no, not even. I didn't even count to 5.
You were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs this year.
He's given up 0 runs 5 times. He's given up 1 run 1 time. He gave up 4 runs 4 times, and he gave up 5 runs 1 time. Those are his run totals. I mean, I get it. I can see how if you miss that one part of Sesame Street, that from 0-1, there's 2 and 3. Like, I get it. Like, that little chunk can be a little just difficult. It does jump. So it's weird that Suarez has those kind of numbers he's given up. 4.38 ERA against the Yankees. Too good, too bad. Guess what? The too good happened on the road. The too bad happened at home. So he seems to have a pretty consistent discrepancy between home and road. There is individual success against Suarez. Chisholm is 6 of 20. Rosario, 4 of 9. Grish is 3 of 11. And Belly is 3 of 15, with 2 of those 3 hits being extra base hits. The Yankees versus left-handed pitching since May 4th. 287 batting average, 479 slug, 848 OPS. But the last 4 games without Judge, 4 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs, and 3 runs. So not necessarily expecting a ton of offense from the Yankees, but it's also what are you going to get from Ranger Suarez, who has been somewhat inconsistent this year. Warren has some weird left-handed hitter splits. He is better at home against lefties in his career against left-handed hitters this year. 4.05 ERA, 246 average, 392 slug with a 4.3 FIP and a 4.24 xFIP. So nothing overly concerning against lefties this year. At home, you might think that there's some concern with a 5.85 ERA against lefties at home, but only a 241 average and a 323 xFIP. Yes, there have been some big home runs hit off of him by lefties. There have been some extra base hits hit off of him by lefties. But overall, he has been pretty good against left-handed hitters. The one issue that you have with Warren in this game is the fact that in 3 starts against Boston, if I take you back to some poor, bad memories, you Yankee fans, on June 6, 2025, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 runs, 1 home run, 4 walks. On August 23rd, 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 runs, 1 home run, 3 walks. On September 14th, 5 innings pitched, 10 hits, 6 runs, 1 home run, and 1 walk. So I would think that Boston might have the edge, but that line goes to Warren. That might be telling you that they're expecting Warren to have a good start. Both pens are, essentially at full health. Some guys use, but the high leverage guys seem to be ready for both bullpens. The Boston Red Sox seem to have a somewhat bullpen advantage, but the Yankees at home, for their bullpen ERA, 3.9 ERA since May 18th at home. I'm off of this. I kind of capped this towards Boston, but the market having it as a Yankee play is going to keep me off. I just found it very interesting to see how these two pitchers kind of set themselves up metrically. Take all that information for what you will, but I do not have a play in this game.
Here we go. Excited to talk about this game here. Cleveland Guardians taking on the Texas Rangers. Look, if you just clicked in today and haven't been paying attention, I understand. I got a lot of people that like to joke and be like, oh, you're a Ranger fan. If you've listened to what I've said this year, I've talked nothing but cash shit about this team. I've said that the few times that they were right at 500, like right now, they're sitting at 31 and 32, but they had to win like 7 out of their last 8 games just to get back to this point. And if you heard me any other time talk about them, I said this team sucks. They shouldn't even be close to 500. They should actually be like -10, -12 games, in my opinion. And I've stood by that all season. But guess what? My tune's changing right now, Moose, because here's what's happening with this team. They've won 7 out of their last 8 baseball games. And yesterday they got 2 extremely, extremely key pieces back into their lineup. They got Wyatt Langford back in the leadoff position, and they got Corey Seager back in the lineup. Now, I know Corey Seager's hitting under 200 on the season. I mean, dude can't hit his ass with both hands. Like, can't hit the broadside of the bar, and I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. That being said, I don't think he was hurt. I don't. I think maybe he was a little bit hobbled. Maybe he was a little bit tweaked, and I think he went and fucking got right. That's what people do that are at the echelon of Corey Seager. They have the ability to do that. They can take 10 games off. No big deal. They can take 10 games off and they can get right. Now, he only got 1 hit in his 4 at-bats yesterday, but that 1 hit was a 411-foot bomb. I think Seager's getting right. I think Langford coming back is a big deal. I think the Rangers are hot for a reason, and I actually think this is a baseball team that you don't want to get in front of, okay? Leiter's on the mound for the Rangers here. They were not favored when this game first opened, but then they came back at the end of the game yesterday. They won, and this flipped towards the Rangers. So what am I going to do with this game? I'm going to take Josh Young. I'm sticking with it, man. He's in the 3-hole. He's still hitting. He's got the 5th best batting average in the league, and I'm still getting plus money on his total bases. So I'm on Josh Young over 1.5 total bases. Then I took Corey Seager over 1.5 total bases as well. Like I said, I think he took 10 days to go get right. Well, more than 10 days, 10 games. And then I'm going to take the Rangers team total over 3.5. Had to lay a little bit of juice for that. Not my style, but I got those 3 bets in this game, and I love it. I really think it's a great spot for him.
You saw the line opened up as a pick 'em, or was it the Guardians were favored?
Guardians were a slight favorite, is what I had.
Was it on your book, or did you just see it like on like
an app?
lines?
It's a regular app. I wasn't actually looking at a book. No.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw it last night. It was close to pick 'em. It was about -113. Maybe it opened at -110. That's what Wager Talk is saying, at -110, but I didn't see a -110. I still see -113. I also see bets are coming in on Texas. So if I pull up Circa really quick, it looks like 70% of the tickets, 80% of the tickets, 78% of the cash at this point, and most of the money has been on Texas. You have a 6-cent move to Texas. So it went from -113 on Circa to -119. Look, here's the deal. Bibby, his metrics are declining across all of his pitches. Not just 1, not just 2. All of his pitches are declining. His hard hit rate is up 8% over his career high. Texas, 16-13 at home, but 9-5 at home since April. Cleveland, 19-15 on the road, 12-6 on the road since April. Both teams are kind of coming in hot. So Texas has been hitting well, even though the no-hitter is somewhat in recent memory. But you just mentioned they are getting offensive pieces back. The pitching is worse on the road for Bibby, which matches his career trend. He's almost 1 run higher on the road than he is at home, 3.32 versus 4.15. Texas at home has been better offensively. But again, they did have that one game where it did not look good. Their last 238 appearances against right-handed hitters at home, right-handed pitchers at home, 235 average against, 413 slug, 722 OPS. So nothing crazy. What I found the most interesting is looking at Jack Leiter. This clearly looks like a guy that's starting to figure it out. He's got tremendous stuff. He's a pedigree of the Al Leiter, who's one of the most veteran savvy pitchers you can remember. That's the not necessarily soft tossing lefty, but one of the best pitchers to use in MLB The Show. If you know, you know. And we are seeing Leiter starting to kind of figure out. When you say, what are we figuring it out? What are you looking for? So as a pitching coach, if you're trying to see if somebody's figuring out, there's certain things you look for. One,
Leiter's figuring out his sequencing.
It's figuring out his sequencing, and you're getting lower walk rate. You're going to be getting a lower hard hit and barrel rate. But more importantly, you're going to start seeing longer outings. He's not going to be getting pulled in the 5th inning because he is sequencing incorrectly and he's pitching deep into counts. He's now going to start going into the 6th inning, the 7th inning, and you're starting to see that. He's coming off of his highest pitch volume for any month of his career, 574 pitches in the month of May, which is about 25 higher than any previous month. But you are also seeing a correlation to more innings pitched. It's not just more pitches and not innings. You are seeing the correlation there. That is a clear indicator that he is starting to kind of figure this out. What I love here is he is coming off of 6 days rest. The Rangers have recognized, hey, he just came off of his largest workload of his entire career for the month of May. Let's give him an extra day. So he's going to have an extra day. In his career, he's had 1 good, 1 meh, and 1 poor on 3 days of rest. But if this is a more experienced veteran pitcher that's figuring it out, that extra day of rest should pay a bigger dividend. I do like Texas right now. I am at the 80% mark. I will very likely be pulling the trigger on this for Texas money line full game because I think the Bibby metrics are concerning. He has pitched good enough, but they have not done well. They are 2-11 in Bibby starts. The Cleveland Guardians are 2-11 when Tanner Bibby is on the mound, and Jack Leiter starts 6-6. But I think we see 7-6 at the end of the day. I will very likely be taking Texas money line. If I can get that -113, which I wrote down and see on Bet Online, that is what I'll be taking.
Good deal. That breakdown didn't do anything but make me like my 3 bets even more. 2+ money. Go. One of them we're laying juice, but we're good. I tell you guys what, on that Jack Leiter, I know we got to keep it moving. Moose and I can really get going on the pitchers sometimes. But you saw his last game against KC had the 10 strikeouts. I want to go back to May 3rd when he played against Detroit. That game was televised nationally. Anybody could have watched it. He gave up 5 runs there. So the stat line doesn't look good, right? 5 hits, 5 runs. He hadn't given up shit going into like the 6th inning in that game, the 5th or the 6th inning. And he had 10 strikeouts in that game as well. The reason I'm bringing that start up is because I love to hate on Jack Leiter. But when I watched that game against Detroit, I realized this kid can pitch his ass off. And he is starting to figure it out like Moose did. Okay, like I said, I love to hate on Leiter. It goes back to when Jose jumped out and faded him the very first time he started in the major leagues. And since then, I've been against him. Leiter's figuring it out. The kid can pitch his ass off. That's what I'm going to leave it at. All right, let's go to the next one here, Moose. Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Colorado Rockies here. I'm not going to have an action in this one, so I'll be quick with you on the setup. Brewers 38-23, Rockies 24-40. Milwaukee's about a 270 favorite here. Total sitting at 10.5. We're finally getting those double-digit totals here in Colorado. I don't even have fucking pitchers for this one. So what you got, Moose?
It is Mizorowski versus goddamn, what's his name? Agnos. The Greek, we're just gonna call him Greek yogurt. All right. So you got the Miz versus Greek yogurt. Oivos. I don't know. That's as much as I got in this game. Velo isn't affected by altitude. Movement induced by spin is affected at altitude. Changeups play at altitude. That's all I got here. If you want to try to bet this game with the Brewers at a 272 favorite, if you want to try to play this as an under, by all means, have at it. Enjoy. The under would be my best play, but no, I'm off. We can move on.
Yeah, right. Good luck. Hey, man, we appreciate that, Jake Burns. I get Moose up here on Saturdays for a reason, man. I love listening to this guy talk sports. He said y'all get the best pitching insight for sure. That's Moose, man. This guy's got it. Let's keep this going. Dodgers taking on the Angels. Every time I bring up the Angels, I don't know why, Wine Time. I don't know why I got to put it on you, but it's like you wear your Angels proud. Like you wear them like a badge of honor, and I just don't understand it, my dude. I'm sorry. I just don't. But 24-40 on the season, taking on the 41-23 Dodgers. -370. Is this a fucking joke? Is this real? What? Minus 370, total sitting at 8.5. There's our guy Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers. I was talking about him earlier. If you want to watch mechanics, to our guy, shout out Jake. Very interesting to watch Yamamoto. I was talking about how his extension is earlier. Watch how tall he stays on that back leg and how he just rides that chair down the mound and doesn't jump off till the very last second. It's cool to watch. 2.86 ERA on the season with a 5.4 record, 69 strikeouts, 15 walks. Jack Kokonowitz on the other side. 2-4 with a 5.23 ERA, 46 strikeouts, 35 walks, and a 1.48 whip. I was going to say, Kokonowitz, you got enough in you to make this 370 look bad, man? I mean, come on. That's a wild number. No bet for me, Moose. What do you got?
Does Cock have enough in you to get it done?
Huh?
I don't know, man. That's where my brain went for this game because I got nothing much.
What did he say?
You pronounced it so well because I was expecting just to hear like the first part of the name and not like the full Awitz, but you enunciated perfectly, and all I heard was the first part of the name. I don't know. I'm talking about this because I have nothing much to talk about for this game. The Angels 8-6 against the Dodgers since 2024, 4-2 on the road at Dodger Stadium since 2024. Cock against the Dodgers 5-16. 2025, 6 2/3, 5 hits, one run on the road at Dodger Stadium at home. Earlier this year, not so good. So if you're going to take a shot with the Angels, hey, you know what? This isn't a bad ticket. This isn't a terrible opportunity for this. You could find worse situations. You can actually find something positive. You could find a positive stat that would reinforce why you're betting the Angels today.
Is that it? Are we done?
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, what the fuck is this game? Hey, maybe if they get down by a run or two, you can go get like a fucking plus 800 or something.
Yeah. Once they get that by 7, you can get that 7.5. That's good money.
All right. New York Mets taking on the San Diego Padres. Moose. It's funny because everybody always used to call me a Rangers fan.
All right, that was a great show, everybody. All right, thanks for coming. We'll see you next week.
They also used to call me a Padres fan, bro, but it's funny because I haven't been betting on the Padres this year, and that's because they can't hit shit. And a lot of what I do starts at the plate. You got the Mets 28-35. You got the Padres 32-30. I'm shocked they're even still a positive team. Nolan McLean on the mound
MC
going
Lean.
for the Mets. Yeah, MC Lean. I remember you saying that. 3-4 with the 4.21 ERA, 77 strikeouts, 24 walks. You got Griffin Cannon on the flip side, 0-4 on the season. The 7.16 ERA, 27 strikeouts, 15 walks, and a 1.55 whip. I mean, what's he going to do? Is he going to give up 6 or is he going to give up 3? That's what you're going to give up 6, you're going to give up 3. And all that being said, you got this gas can on the mound and you got the Mets sitting at minus 125. Couldn't bet the Mets. Couldn't be me. So maybe a Mets team total, but I don't want to do that either. Moose, what do you got?
He pitched inside against the Phillies, which was shocking to me. I was like, oh my God, he's actually pitching inside today. Why is he doing this on the road and he doesn't do this at home? Which then I started kind of thinking maybe he is ballpark situation. If it's at Petco, he's just going to try to use the dimensions around him. Maybe I'm just searching for an excuse of why a major league pitcher doesn't want to throw inside in every single game, because that is what every single pitcher in the history of pitching should be doing, is throwing inside within the first batter, within the first 5 pitches. And if you do not, I would really, really like to ask you a question of where your dick is, because it's clearly not between your legs. Because if you're throwing outside to every single hitter in every single game for every single inning, you got nothing down there. All right. Grow some huevos. Put on a little sausage in between on top, and let's go throw inside. I don't get it. Like, you got great movement, throw inside. MC Lean with it is exactly the type of pitcher that I would be wanting on the mound if I was looking for strikeout props. The Padres have been struggling. They are 6-11 at home since the month of April, and they are scoring a whopping average of 1.9 runs per game. If you want to take those, by all means. The one thing that I've found interesting is you look at these numbers and you look at the trajectories of where these teams are going, because both, and Mets aren't exactly doing anything either. Only a minus 120 favorite. I get it's on the road, but if it was at home, he would only be a minus 132 favorite. MC Lean with it would only be a minus 132, minus 135 favorite against Griffin Canning. I would imagine this would be in the minus 150s. What is it about the Padres that gives you the recognition, the respect to be able to put a minus 122 and nothing higher than that on the Mets? They are literally walking out guys that have never been in the big leagues before. Jace Bowen, Samad Taylor are both getting their first starts. Sung Moon Song has not been able to hit water out in the middle of the ocean, which is where they're probably going to have to send him if you can't figure things out. Manny Machado's hitting under 200.
You could go ahead and sink both of these. Bro, 356 and 362 slugging percentage. What the fuck?
It's awful.
They are so bad.
So all that being said, interesting where the line is. Very interesting where the line is. That would make me think this could be a Padres spot, but hell no. No, I'm not. Don't take this until you start seeing some fire. You start seeing the fundamentals. When the Padres are playing well, you are seeing them take the extra base. They're not making throwing mistakes. They are, preventing runners from advancing. None of that is happening. They are overthrowing cutoffs. They are not making the heads up play. They're not moving runners over. It is bad baseball. So bet the Mets if you'd like, but I think MC Lean with it, strikeout props would probably be my best look, but no, I'm not touching anything. I am off of that.
I'm going to say, if you're a live better, man, and you got live lines, if the Padres get bases loaded and you got like Machado coming up, just go ahead and take under no runs for that inning, even if there's no outs with the bases loaded, because he'll find a way to hit a fucking triple play. I promise he will. Or he'll figure it out, man, because the dude is not doing shit right now. Moose, I love doing this with you, man. We got right up about 100 people in the chat, so we're right where we usually are, man. We got up there, started the morning a little slow. I was feeling a little groggy, but capping the card with you, Moose, and you guys in the chat, got my ass in gear. I got 5 bets. I'm going to recap them real quick, and then I'll have Moose recap his. And then we'll get out of here, go get our bets in, and we'll make some money today, guys. Make sure you're tuned in tonight to Walk Off Wagers right here on Pub Sports Radio. And also go to Pub Sports MMA and check out what the guys are doing over there. They will be live breaking down the fights, bringing you guys money. And let's go, man. I got Kristen. Shout out to Kristen Hess in the chat, man.
Kristen Hess, hey!
Yeah, I don't think
overruns, base and hits. Let's go.
I did Gorky, too. I almost missed this, man. He dropped a $2 dono. Shout out to Gorkle, man. Finishes the sesh for us every day. Also dropped a membership in there. Shout out to all you members that are rocking with us, man. Y'all keep this damn channel alive, so thank you. Gorky dropped another membership, man. Pay it back. Pay it forward. Show some love, man. Christian Walker for the Astros over 1.5 total bases at plus 120. Guys, I locked this in last night. I think that line's dropped, but it is still plus money. I got Matt Olson over 1.5 total bases at plus 130. I've got the Rangers team total over 3.5. That's about a minus 130, guys. I don't usually lay that type of juice, but I really like the spot today. I kind of think the game goes under, but I just think the Rangers get 4 or 5 runs. I think it's going to be like a 5-2 type ball game. Josh Young over 1.5 total bases. You can get that, guys, at plus 135. You got Corey Seager over 1.5 total bases. That's coming in at about plus 125. Shop around as the props are all over the place. Moose, what you got?
So far, I only have the Braves money line, minus 110 got last night, and the Sprinkle minus 1.5 plus 170, as well as Shane O'Mac strikeouts over 5.5 for a half a unit. I am still looking at first 5, Kansas City, Minnesota, under 4.5 or 4. Maybe if it's a 4 and it's playable, I will. If it's 4.5 and it's playable, I'm not, because that's not a good market move. The White Sox money line, I'm looking at that. Very likely going to take that. Washington, Arizona under 9. Thinking about it, wondering about it, might play it. And Texas money line, very, very likely playing that as well. Those are my bets. And again, make sure you are checking out Spoon and Wine Time later. They're going to have a special guest, Sophie Rain, coming on the show later tonight. So congratulations on that. So if you guys have nothing else to do, come on, check out Spoon and Wine Time and their special guest, Sophie Rain, as they break down the MLB card.
Well, we might be fucking stuck, Moose. My mouse just stopped working.
Oh, man. So I can go through the guest lineup that Spoon and Wine Time got. They got Sophie Rain this week. They've got Tupac coming on next week. And then they got Wiz Khalifa Cab, if you want to check that out. They got Wiz Khalifa coming out in a couple weeks.
All right, I got it back.
Sure you guys are checking it out.
I got it back. It's working again. We're good. I was like, oh fuck, man. I think we might be stuck here.
Dude,
I'm gonna say, Jimmy, you gotta come in the show for us. Nah, but
they
we're
just
good.
they just texted me their guest lineup. So I had a whole month's worth of guests that I could gone through.
I like it. I mean, it shows why they're kicking so much ass, man.
Yeah.
Kristen Hess dropping the membership. You bring up the beautiful young lady, and she shows up with the membership. There's my guy, Julian, man. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're healthy, Julian. Can't wait to kick it with you again in San Antonio, my brother. Solution, I see you in the chat, too. Mark A. Rod Zawacki. That a boy. That's my dude right there, Rod Z, man. Good to see all you guys. Thank you guys again for being here this Saturday. Please, if you don't mind, man, send this out to just one person that, you know, might want to make some money in the diamond today. While Moose is rubbing his bat right there. What? We're going to go ahead and let this show go. Thank you guys again. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next week.